Namaste. In the next episode of Naama Geetha, we're going to see something very, very important. Every Naama of Sri Krishna is important. Srimad Bhagavad Gita itself is the most important. The Mahabharata, which gave us the Bhagavad Gita, is obviously the most important for all of us. But the divine Naama that we are going to discuss in this episode, and probably the next episode, the continuation of another Naama, is going to be extremely important. Before we go into the name, let's ask a very simple question to ourselves. We call ourselves Hindu. Can we define what makes a Hindu? Just ask this question to yourself, to your immediate family members, your children, your father, your uncles, your aunts, and your friends who are all practicing Hindus. Just ask them to define Hindu. The answer that we may get may differ, may just come out of mind at that point of a construction, rather than a well-read and proper term that defines our word Hindu, because our term Hindu is probably 300 years old thanks to the British, right? So who we are, that is going to define this name by none other than Lord Sri Krishna himself, because we are called, our whole belief of Hindu system, the current Hindu system is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana or Sanathan Dharma, there are two important words. Sanathan means one which is very ancient, very old, time immemorial, but always one that reinvents itself and always presents itself afresh at all the times. Sanathan. And Dharma. Now get at the perfect word for Dharma in any language. It's extremely difficult, because Dharma is such a nice word which defines our entire human race, not just a particular sect of belief of people. Dharma, the closest English word that we can come to is being righteous. But actually, dharma is what we mean by actually one that ensures that we are taken care of, we live our lives better, and one which propels our economy, our surroundings, our ecology, and fellow people and the nation. So dharma of a head of a family is there, who will take care of the family, who will work for the family, who will protect the family and make them above. Dharma of a principal, if I have to call, of a college or of a school, what is the dharma of a principal? Is to ensure that the students learn what they are supposed to learn, they are being taught by the teachers what they are supposed to be taught, and look at the upliftment of every student within the school or the college. Dharma of a national leader is what? Is to ensure the protection of the nation, the growth of the nation, growth of the people. So dharma is all about the manner in which one commits oneself, one leads oneself in a way that propels oneself above, and also take the people along with them above, not just the people, everything, every animal, insects, everything, the ecology around us to the next level is what we would call as dharma. Dharma is one which propels. So Sanatana Dharma, as we are called, is basically a dharma, or the way of life, that ensures that we are grown in the righteous way, keep growing, not just about ourselves, but about everything. We saw in the earlier Naama of Sri Krishna, in the same Naama Geetha, how Sri Krishna says, I am there in everything, including the plants, trees, animals and everything. So it is the responsibility of the humans to take care of the plants. It says ecology, everything that was worked around our system, the water conservation, the taking care of the cows, for example, protecting the cows, everything is about part of the Sanatana Dharma, which ensures that we propel and we keep protecting everything around us, and that is what we are calling about ourselves as Sanatana Dharma, the way of life which ensures the righteous way of approaching life, ensuring one's own growth and the growth of one and around himself or herself. So that is Sanatana Dharma, and that defines a Hindu today. Though we are called by Hindu, nowhere you will find this name Hindu, but we are proud Sanatana Dharmis. So when kind of things happen like this, questions asked about our way, belief systems, our way of life and all this, practicing Ekadashi, for example, the fasting on the 11th day of full moon and 11th day of new moon. This is again a way of life to protect one's own body, because there are planetary positions which affects your digestive system on that day. So Dharma says fast on that day. Think of Vishnu and just fast on that day. We do that. What happens? It helps upkeep of oneself so that we can take care of the rest over a period of time. So that is part of Dharma. Then you light lamps in the every evening. Why? Again protecting the room, bringing in the brightness and praying. When you light the lamp, you always pray for Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu or Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. That's what we pray. That's what Sanatana Dharma was. It's not about one person or one family. It is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. Everybody should be happy. So this is Sanatana Dharma.
Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Tvamavyaya shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me.
In the 11th chapter, 18th sloka, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Sanatana Purusha. Now we are talking about Sanatana Dharma. Where does this Dharma come from? From the Vedas. Vedas, where does it come from? It is told by rishis and elders that it is Sri Mahavishnu's breath that comes as Vedas. Vedas, as you know, has no one single author. There is no one single owner for Vedas. So that Vedas tells us how to lead our lives, and that Sanatana Dharma is leader. Who is the leader? Is Sriman Narayana, Sri Mahavishnu, now Sri Krishna, the incarnate of Mahavishnu. So Arjuna realizes this. In 11th chapter, you will see Arjuna realizing a lot of things and mentioning again and again, saying that he even apologizes, right? I treated you as my friend, I treated you as my charioteer, I now realize how great you are. Kind of words that comes from Arjuna. 11th chapter, while the Vishwarupa chapter is the ideal thing, we can also call it as the realization chapter. Realization of Arjuna that Sri Krishna is everything. He is omnipotent, omnipotent. That's what he realizes it. Again he says Sanatana Purusha. So the Purusha, we saw again in Purushottama. What does one mean by Purusha? So he is Sanatana's Purusha, one who is the leader of this entire way of life. Now entire way of life includes everybody. Everybody, I mean it. And that is what means that Sri Krishna is the Lord of the entire universe and beyond. So he is the Sanatana Purusha, one who gives us the direction of how to live, and one who protects all those one who leads the life as per his command, and one who is also the true leader of Sanatana Dharma. In the episode where we enjoyed the name of Sri Krishna as Purushottama, we defined what this Purusha stands for, right? Purusha is one who is Antaryami in everything, in each one of us, in everything around us and everything. But then, the Jivatma is also Antaryami. Only Atma is residing in the body, which makes the body run around. So that means, does Krishna also is the same as the Jivatma? No, he is Paramatma. That's why we called him Purushottama. He is the superior Atma who is residing in everybody, Purushottama, and that Purushottama is Anadi. That means he is eternal. Purushottama himself is eternal. The Vedas that comes through as his breath, through his nostrils, is also Anadi, and that's why only a person like Sri Krishna, who is Anadi, can give us something like the Vedas, which is also Anadi, and thereby giving us complete directions of how to lead our lives. Now it's very interesting to note, people who have read their Vedas, you just go spend half an hour every day with them, you'll realize the Vedas, which is time immemorial, Aporishayam, we don't even know when the Vedas originated, but so much information that is there which is relevant to so-called the year 2020 today. How is it possible? That is because it is given by a person who is Anadi, and thereby you know that everything that is relevant has been mentioned in that to lead a human life. Times have changed, gadgets could have changed, the way we live could have changed, but the way we are supposed to live remains the same. So that is what is important to understand from this whole episode of understanding Sri Krishna. And in the same Bhagavad Gita, we also know that Sri Krishna says, Dharma samsthanapthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He says, to establish dharmas, to re-establish dharma, I am going to keep coming again and again. So here, in this episode of Bhagavad Gita, Sriman Narayana has manifested himself, incarnated as Sri Krishna. He was there as Rama in earlier Yuga. He was as Narasimha in prior Yuga. So he manifests himself every time you think there is adharma which is trying to raise its head, he comes here to establish dharma. So to establish dharma, Sri Krishna comes over here, and that is why Arjuna says Sanatana Purusha. So he is the leader, he is the Purushottama, which we saw earlier. And Purushottama of what? Purushottama of Sanatana himself. The eternal living, eternal righteous living. He is the Purusha, and let us worship Sri Krishna as Sanatana Purusha and be blessed. Namaste.
Madhava Achyuta Krishna హరే ఋషికేశ కేశవ గోవింద వాసుదేవ భగవన్ జనార్దన